found Vitalik Buterin talking about XRP. Take a listen.
That's really what Ethereum is. People talk a lot about things, talk about cryptocurrency 2.0 being like the internet of value. We're not the internet of value. Ripple is the internet of value.
So back December 2014, Vitalik Buterin saying Ripple is the internet of value. And as we've been saying, this man bought $249 million worth of Bitcoin, but also, this is what I'm trying to get you guys to pay attention to here, $276 million worth of Ethereum yesterday. BlackRock is accumulating. World Liberty Token is accumulating. Eric Trump is accumulating. Everyone is accumulating Ethereum, these big major whales. So pay attention to Ethereum in the future. And big update here, the SEC is scaling back its crypto enforcement unit, some in a special unit of 50 lawyers, and the staff has been dedicated to bringing enforcement actions are being reassigned according to a just published New York Times article. SEC moves to scale back its crypto enforcement efforts. And Jeremy Hogan, who's been following the XRP, the Ripple case extremely close, he says the SEC katanas have been sheathed. All that remains is the harakiri, the litigation. And we enter the Magi era. And we have Navi posting here, Donald Trump bought 200 million worth of ETH. Fidelity bought 49 million worth of ETH. BlackRock, 300 million worth of ETH. Navi bought $69 in ETH. Whales are shaking weak hands out. And in a big move, the SEC now has a crypto email address. Never thought I'd see the day, but email crypto@thesec.gov. And again, it's what I'm saying. Everyone is talking about this. BlackRock's ETF just bought the second largest amount of Ethereum on record. And big news, since Ripple launched their RLUSD, want to keep this in the spotlight as well. Stablecoin transaction value surpasses Visa and MasterCard in 2024 with $15.6 trillion per ARK Invest. And very bullish, a total of 22 states have introduced Bitcoin and digital asset bills so far. There is no stopping this train. And check this one out. The US government held a press conference to tell us that assets will go on chain. America will lead. The golden age of digital assets has already begun, and this age will be called the Internet of Value. This is historic for XRP. And that connects back to what we just talked about, Vitalik Buterin talking about how Ripple is the Internet of Value. FDIC plans to revise crypto guidelines and allow banks to engage in crypto activities. And this is one of those conspiracy scenarios that I wanted to point out here. We've talked a lot about Mr. Poole on the channel, some of the crazy connections that he ends up having when it comes to XRP. It's 2025 and people still don't believe the riddles are legit. They are very real. Not everyone can be helped. Best of luck. And the reason that this was brought up is because Mr. Poole posted on February 4th of 2021, sorry, we're experiencing technical difficulties. And as you know, which we're going to talk about the actual article here shortly, XRP had some technical difficulties yesterday. The XRPL halted last produced ledger block 10 minutes ago, investigating. David Schwartz did come out and talk about it yesterday as well. The network is now recovering. We don't know exactly what caused the issue. Super preliminary observation. It looked like consensus was running, but validations were not being published, causing the network to drift apart. Validator operators manually intervened to choose a sane starting point at the last ledger that anyone could have seen as fully validated and began publishing validations from there. This can be done without coordination, but it's always better to get second and third opinions. Once servers started seeing a few validations from a few sources, they were able to build enough consensus to pull back the network over to a coordinated ledger stream. After the last ledger, the network managed to validate. This is all preliminary and might turn out to be wrong. So let's dive into the headline. Ripple says the ledger back online after hour-long network halt. Network activity froze at block height 939.27174 for 64 minutes before the blockchain was rebooted on February 4th at 10:58 a.m. UTC, XRPL's Explorer page shows. David Schwartz noted that very few unique nodes list validators were forced to make changes to reboot the network. So it's possible the network spontaneously recovered. RippleX's X account noted that customers' funds remained safe throughout the incident. And after everything was resolved, David Schwartz then posted a funny meme on his page on X saying, "Hello, IT, have you tried turning it off and on again?" Around 2 million transactions are executed, anywhere between 30,000 to 60,000 unique senders each day, XRP scan data shows. Consequently, around 88,000 transactions may have been delayed as a result of the network halt. The network halt started chatter about Ripple's centralized setup after Daniel Keller, Chief Technology Officer of XRPL node operator Eminence, pointed out that all 35 nodes were back validating. Now, the only issue is, as you know right now, there is a pretty big feud going on between XRP and Bitcoin maxis. And Bitcoin maxis are talking about how XRP sucks and XRP this and XRP that. So unfortunately, this was kind of a really bad timing for this scenario to go down. But on the bright side, a lot of people are talking about how this could have been an on-purpose scenario where they were load testing XRP because of the fact that all of the assets could be moving to the XRP ledger. I'm talking real world assets. We're talking the United States government. As we know right now, Doge is potentially wanting to put the treasury on an actual blockchain. Is XRP going to be that blockchain? And so there's rumors swirling around that this could have been the load test before we actually flip the switch. XRP Ledger's centralization concerns have been a common source of criticisms, given competitor blockchains like Ethereum continue to decentralize with more than 1 million daily active validators securing the network. XRP hit a 24-hour low of $2.47 at the time of XRP Ledger's network halt, but has since rebounded to $2.53 at the time of publication. The token has been one of the best of the industry's performers since Donald Trump won the election, increasing over 396% since November 5th. XRP Ledger's halt comes as Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse is pushing for XRP to be included as a U.S. reserve asset, which Trump's crypto czar David Sachs will explore. So there was a little bit of a hiccup for XRP and the XRP Ledger. However, it was handled. No money was lost. No transaction was lost. Just a little delay in transactions being processed. Once the dust settled, everything was good to go. And in the Ethereum headlines as well, Ethereum game Moonray is going to be launching on Xbox and PS5, which is a big deal because, as you know, a lot of people are talking about adoption of crypto. And people think that gaming could be the easiest, most simple form of adoption for the normies out there to really get on board. Blockchain games will never reach mass adoption without Xbox and PlayStation, claims Moonray Studio CEO Rodrigo. The majority of gamers are found on platforms such as PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. To onboard gamers to Web3, you need to go where they are. Without these platforms and meeting players on their terms, blockchain games will never be able to reach gamers at scale. Moonray Studios' Ethereum-based multiplayer battle arena game Moonray has been available on PC through Epic Game Store since July. It's headed to Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 later this year. The release dates aren't locked in yet, but the porting process is already underway, and the team expects to start playtest in the second half of 2025. Moonray is the second Web3 game to break into mainstream consoles following the early access launch to the first-person shooter Off the Grid, which was actually a really big hit. A lot of people talked really great things about it on Xbox Series X and PlayStation. That happened in October. Etcheto thinks Moonray has found the right balance between crossplay across platforms to reach many gamers as possible, all while sticking to the platform's terms and conditions. It hasn't been easy for crypto games to play within the rules of traditional platforms. In October of 2021, Valve, the firm behind Steam, removed blockchain-based games from its platform and advised users not to publish content on crypto or NFTs. So are you excited about a real Ethereum-based game going to Xbox and PS5? I'm excited to see when GTA 6 launches. There's been a lot of rumors that it will also have the Web3 and blockchain gaming technology built into it. And in political news for crypto, CFTC chair says they are ending regulation by enforcement. The commission will divide its enforcement responsibilities into two task forces focused mainly on complex fraud and retail fraud. Caroline Pham is the acting chair at the CFTC, announced the agency would be winding down its practice of regulation by enforcement, likely impacting the approach of crypto firms during the Trump administration. In a February 4th notice, Pham said that the CFTC was restructuring the priorities of its division of enforcement to focus on fraud, suggesting that the move will stop regulation by enforcement against good citizens. The commission will divide its responsibilities into two task forces focusing mainly on retail fraud and violations of Commodities Exchange Act and the complex fraud and manipulation. The shift in the commission's approach to enforcement was one of FAM's first actions since becoming CFTC chair January 20th, following former chair Rostin Banham stepping down. At the time of publication, it was unclear whom U.S. President Trump intended to nominate to fill Banham's seat at the CFTC once he leaves officially on February 7th. Changes across U.S. regulators under Trump. Another major U.S. financial regulator, the SEC, announced January 21st that it would form a crypto task force to develop a framework of digital assets. SEC Commissioner Mark Ueda has been leading the agency as acting chair until U.S. Senate decides whether to confirm Paul Atkins, Trump's pick to replace Gary Gensler. On January 27th, FAM announced that the commission would hold public roundtable discussions on market issue, engaging with industry leaders to potentially include digital assets. Reports also suggest the CFTC was investigating Super Bowl bets. The championship game is scheduled for February 9th, offered by Crypto.com and betting platform Kalshi. So things are really moving fast with this new Trump administration. Usually government moves at the speed of an iceberg, but with the new administration coming in, it has been a light speed. Everyone's learning new information every single day, coming at you out of a fire hose. It's actually been very exciting, but it's also very confusing. So we will continue to keep you updated